All right, Steelers Nation, let's talk about one of the most intriguing moves in the NFL this offseason and why I genuinely believe Aaron Rodgers landing in Pittsburgh is not just headline material. It might be the perfect storm for both him and the franchise heading into the 2025 season. There's a lot of buzz, plenty of skeptics, and even more hope brewing in the Steel City right now. So let's dive in and break down why this match could be exactly what both sides need. First off, let's address the obvious. The timelines match up beautifully. Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old. Let that sink in. He's at that point in his career where the window is narrow, the urgency is high, and every snap counts towards legacy. He's got maybe 1 or 2 seasons left before he hangs up the cleats for good. And guess what? The Steelers are staring at a similar window with their defensive captain Cam Hayward. Hayward, who's had a remarkable career and is likely headed to Canton one day, still has one glaring omission on his resume: a Super Bowl ring. With only 2 years likely remaining in his career as well, the Steelers are officially in win-now mode. They aren't building for the future. They aren't looking at 5-year plans. They're pushing all their chips in for the next 2 seasons, hoping to send Hayward out as a champion. Now, let's talk about the quarterback experience factor. This point right here might ruffle some feathers, but the facts are the facts. Inexperienced playoff quarterbacks don't typically win titles. It's just reality. Teams that make deep postseason runs almost always have battle-tested signal callers who have felt the pressure and responded on the biggest stages. That's where Rodgers becomes such a critical piece. Among all active NFL quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers has played in more playoff games than anyone else. That's a staggering statistic when you realize that even Patrick Mahomes, who seems like he's been in the postseason every year of his career, is still sitting just 1 game behind Rodgers in that category. Rodgers has been there, done that, and he knows how to handle those high-stakes moments when everything is on the line. When the Steelers were laying out their strategy for this season, they knew landing someone like Matthew Stafford wasn't going to happen. The Los Angeles Rams shut down any trade talks, leaving Pittsburgh with limited options on the quarterback market. Rather than reaching or settling, the Steelers decided to go with a proven veteran presence, a guy who's smart, experienced, and still very capable of playing winning football. This is very much a page out of the Philadelphia Eagles playbook from last season. Bring in a quarterback who can manage the game, avoid critical mistakes, and let the defense and running game do the heavy lifting. Remember what Philly did last year? An elite defense with a nasty pass rush, a strong ground game, and a quarterback in Jalen Hurts who, while very talented, wasn't considered among the absolute elite names like Mahomes or Allen or Lamar. Yet they still managed to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. That's the formula Pittsburgh is aiming for. And let's not forget the supporting cast. The Steelers' defense is loaded with talent, and there's a lot of optimism surrounding the run game. Caleb Johnson could very well be that breakout star in his first year, and the coaching staff believes in the potential of this ground attack to take serious steps forward. Rodgers won't be asked to be Superman every week. Instead, his job will be to play smart football, distribute the ball efficiently, and make the big throws when they're needed most. Speaking of Rodgers himself, let's address the narrative that he's washed up. People love to look at the last couple of seasons and draw conclusions, but context matters. Rodgers hasn't been at his MVP level since 2021. That's true. But let's remember why. In 2022, he played through a broken thumb on his throwing hand. That injury happened early in the season during a game against the New York Giants in London, and from that point forward, his performance understandably dipped. Playing quarterback in the NFL with a broken thumb on your throwing hand is no joke. On top of that, that was the same season he lost his number 1 target, Davante Adams, who left for the Las Vegas Raiders. Without Adams, Rodgers had to rely on an unproven and inconsistent group of receivers. Allen Lazard was his top option, followed by rookies like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. Not exactly the most threatening receiver core in the league. Then came the move to New York, where things went from bad to worse. All the hype leading into 2023 was shattered just 4 snaps into the season when Rodgers tore his Achilles. That entire year became a lost cause, and the Jets never recovered. Fast forward to 2024, And while Rodgers managed to play all 17 games, the chaos around him was relentless. The Jets fired head coach Robert Saleh after just 5 games. The offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, was also shown the door later in the year. The defense fell apart post-Saleh, plummeting to near the bottom of the league in almost every statistical category. They ranked near dead last in points allowed per game, efficiency per play, and overall success rate. And the run game? Practically non-existent. The Jets were second to last in rushing yards per game. That forced Rodgers into a one-dimensional offense where defenses knew he had to throw, making life even tougher. Factor in a slew of injuries, he was still rehabbing the Achilles, plus he dealt with a grade 2 hamstring strain, a low ankle sprain, and an MCL sprain in his knee. And it's honestly impressive he managed to put up 28 passing touchdowns under those conditions. For context, that's the same number as Josh Allen, the league MVP. Another area that killed the Jets last year was special teams. They were among the worst in field goal accuracy, sitting 30th in the league. Several games slipped away because their kickers couldn't convert, games where Rodgers had done enough to put them in position to win. Now, contrast that with what awaits Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Chris Boswell was among the league leaders in field goal percentage, hitting over 93% of his attempts. That alone should make Rodgers breathe a little easier knowing the special teams unit has his back. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a recent interview that set the NFL rumor mill ablaze, Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf made a series of unexpected comments about his teammate, the perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate, TJ Watt. While the All-Pro receiver offered both praise and criticism, the tone of his remarks has many wondering if there's more brewing behind closed doors in Pittsburgh. Metcalf, known for his candor and fiery competitive spirit, didn't hold back when discussing Watt's influence on the team. TJ is a monster on the field. No doubt about that. One of the best edge rushers in the game, maybe the best, Metcalf began. But the conversation quickly took a turn. At the same time, sometimes it feels like we're playing 2 different games out there. Offense has to keep grinding while the defense gets all the headlines. The quote has ignited speculation among fans and insiders alike. Is there a growing rift in the Steelers' locker room? Or was Metcalf simply voicing the often unspoken tension between offensive and defensive units? Either way, the comment didn't go unnoticed. He went on to clarify, "I respect TJ a lot. He's the kind of guy you always want on your team. But leadership isn't just about sacks and forced fumbles. It's about how you carry the team when things get tough." The duality of Metcalf's statement, part praise, part subtle critique, has many wondering if this is just competitive honesty or a hint at deeper discontent. Analysts are now speculating whether this could signal friction within the Steelers' high-power roster, or if Metcalf is trying to push Watt to take on a broader leadership role as Pittsburgh eyes a deep playoff run. While neither Watt nor the Steelers' coaching staff have responded publicly, sources close to the organization suggest the comments haven't gone unnoticed in the locker room. Whether it sparks tension or drives the team to new levels remains to be seen. One thing is certain. DK Metcalf's words have added a layer of intrigue to an already dramatic NFL offseason. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.